Blessings, fellow magicians, map makers, gladiators, lightworkers, starseeds, Indigos, Sirians, Galactic family, and warriors of the light. Yeah! Welcome. So in today's video, we'll be discussing how to tap into the magic of knowingness and unlimited thought to heal your body. Let's begin. So a brain is a great intellect and processing tool, but the magical power of the mind is all that is. You have the ability to take through your brain thought synthesis of knowing your magic is activated, and that there is a way to heal your body with your magic. No matter the state of condition you're in, knowingness will heal you. Divine magicians, we all can tap into the universal intelligence, knowingness, unlimited thought, and magical mind. When you say mind, thinking, and ideas, they are invisible, but we assume them to be real and accept them by all the societies of this plane. Mind, thinking, ideas are all spiritual, for you see they are not seen, most, but not all. Our reality says they seen is what is real, but thoughts, thinking, and ideas are unseen, and these are spiritual. The universal mind is omnipotent and omnipresent of the great I am, of the universal intelligence, the great I am, and all matter. So when one taps into their deeper self, a deeper love enters a state of mind, a state of presence. One can go vertically up or shift dimensions with the mind, and the power of the universal mind is there. Just think about it. When you're flowing, tapped in and turned on, when the words just come out of your mouth with no effort at all, like flowing river of knowledge, when every word of action is from your highest truth, this is you tapping into your universal mind. What a magical power indeed that is. So understand the mind is what most don't understand. The brain, yes, but the mind, no. Only the mind can take you where you want to go. Do you believe this? Where do you want to go, divine ones? A brain is a great intellect and processing tool, but the power of the mind is all that is. You want to go to different dimensions with ease and grace? Then know and study your mind power. Only the mind has the power over time, and wherever your mind is, so are you. So be it. So every master who tapped into the mind and thought knew, wherever the mind is, so is the master. It is time to reveal your mind, or the universal mind of all that is. You can ride vertically to the power of your mind. Do you believe that? And so be it. To become an unlimited magician or gladiator of the mind, you must allow the magic of unlimited thought to occur. The receiving units that house the brain are inactivated and they are not used. Why? Why? This is where a normal human race and all of the brain should and would be open and used to their fullest capacity. That is how it is done. Open your brain and receive more thoughts of magic from around you. In that conscious allowing to the altered ego, then the pituitary gland is activated to activate another part of the brain. Of that greater thought of magical abilities will come forth. And what magical powers were not used or realized before will now be realized and used. As a person becomes more magical and unlimited in their magic, the more the capacity of the brain is ignited for greater thought to be realized. The pituitary gland is the area of non-judgment. This is the area to master the 7th level of consciousness, which is mastering judgment. Judgment is an altering for sure, right? Each time you do not limit and each time you do not judge, you are permitting yourself to be activated in your brain consciousness to allow an equalness of thought to occur, which will compensate for that unlimitedness. If your brain can only receive with that part that is activated in lower conscious, that specific thought frequency is only allowed in your brain in lower conscious, your brain will not have the capacity to reason with any thought frequency that goes beyond that limited structure. Only more practicums of the brain organ receiving unit, which is attuned to etheric and finite knowledge, can be used, right? So each time you accept the thought that is far greater than what you accepted in your standard thinking, perceiving, I will awaken that self-power of my magic. If you accept it, it goes to another part of the brain to be activated in a purposeful and useful way. Each time you do that, it will offer itself as a carrier, a gateway, a channel, and etheric knowing circuit. And from that point on, it will activate that point of the brain beyond that for more unlimited thought, for more receiving, and for more knowing. You know, all there is to know and the limited values and beliefs around magic you accept from flow of thought called conscious in your current state of being in mind. This means that most of you, not all of you, have grown to the capacity of your learning and limitation, fear, dread, shame, etc. around awakening your magic. To become an unlimited magician of love's embrace, you must allow the unlimited thought of your magic to be activated now to occur in a higher consciousness. in your etheric ore and to open in the pituitary, then the limited thoughts of your magical abilities will go to the rest of your brain, where the thought can be housed and turned into a finer electrical current for unlimited possibilities and the awakening of the unstoppable power of your magic. That is how it is done. Heal your brain, remove toxins from your brain, decalcify your brain organs, and you will activate and open the magic of your higher mind. Oh, how exciting indeed. Each expanded moment you practice the magic of limitlessness and knowingness, you have simply said, I know. This commits the space of knowingness to occur. That means the door of knowingness, unlimitedness, soul and higher mind has opened, and the miraculous healing begins. Oh, how exciting indeed that is. Okay, so thought bodies and light bodies, which all of you who are hearing this are, can relate to the physical body without the realization and the understanding of what matter is and how you relate to it. You must have a body of matter to do that with. Each time you do, you alter a perfect flow of knowingness by becoming all parts of knowingness, including matter, all the way to the highest frequency of light. That is the main reason most obstruct their healing ability through knowingness, is that they catch themselves more in the physical mass than in the spirit of light frequencies. Each time unlimited thinking occurs and is activated in a greater part of the body and brain, catches the residue of the thought comes in and registers in the light pulse, then the light pulse is registered in the central nervous system at the column of your spine, then down the column of the spine, then sends off your feelings from the tips of your toes, the tips of your fingers. Everything that touches your fingers is registered itself in the central nervous system. It sends back messages to the receiving unit in the brain. This is why when you have anxious thoughts, worry thoughts, lack of thoughts, concerns, thoughts, right? I can't do it, I don't know how, I'm scared to awaken my magic, etc. The thought energy goes right to the central nervous system and causes you to worry, at the same time causes fatigue, anxious feelings, sweating, jitters, can't talk, shut down, overwhelmed, feelings, hot flashes, fight, flight, or freeze, run. And, this can also go for good feelings and thoughts throughout the nervous system, for receiving nice feelings, thoughts, to touchings with your fingers, things that bring you joy and nice thoughts, right? All the thoughts that vibrate at the same rate and speed around you as your brain vibrates enter your brain. If the brain receives unlimited thoughts, the brain will send a greater and faster frequency of electrons, because that is what thought is. It is an impulse throughout the body. The body will begin to vibrate at a greater tone. The brain is housing the greater energy, the frequency of unlimited thought. In order for the central nervous system to start vibrating itself at a higher frequency of knowingness, of feelings, the brain has to match the frequency of the unlimited thoughts around you. For me personally, to access this unlimited thought, I start by eating a healthy diet, smoothie, tai chi, morning yoga, binary beats to flex the brain to higher frequencies, meditation, spending time in nature, writing and practicing, tapping in unlimited thoughts after morning meditation and working out, right? I practice aligning my body and brain to frequencies of unlimited thoughts around me all the time, right? You see, each level of consciousness has a layer of thought. The higher consciousness, the higher the thought energy, frequency, right? You can access this. However, one must have the body at a higher level of energy too, through yoga, tai chi, exercise, walking in nature, positive thinking, feeling, etc. At first, you will get sore and tired from doing this, and your brain will not be able to house the energy for very long. It's about working your spiritual gym on the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual till you access higher levels of unlimited thought. So the more you become unlimited, the greater the body becomes. Lighter or vibrating at greater light speed than what you are doing now. By vibrating at a greater light and speed, we can heal any ailments in and around your body. So how do you have the ability to pick up a thought to heal yourself or another, and where does it come from? All things that be termed the giver of life first emanates from thought. To come out of thought, from all things that are, from the smallest of things to the greatest of things on earth plane, okay? All other planes, wherever they are, and the beings of those planes emanate thought. That is where they all came from, okay? An old ancestral ancient tree, a bush, new orchid flower, a crystal emanates from a thought and becomes a light synthesis, which propagates the mass. Everything you see on this plane has light or lightness around it. All life propagates from this thought and light, the thought and light being the parent, okay? So when the flower is in being or in existence, it is emanating back to its light source, the thought of its being that goes from every particle of dust, blade of grass, or dog hair thought to light, auric body to the physical body, the brain to passion, imagination, and then creation to physical reality, conscious creating reality, right? Everything emanates or projects back into the light to the thought. That is how everything is known in existence. Nothing can stay with itself, such as the plant and the flower. If the thought is removed, the plant and the flower will be no more. So the flow of all things that are around you emanate their being in the flow of life and creation. The universe, some of which you have not seen, has many things emanating their thought, synthesis, into the timeless flow that is right directly where you are. Everything is in thought. Okay? So how do you have the ability to pick up a thought, and where does it come from? In order for you to be the receiving unit, to receive a new thought, thoughts of infinite knowledge all around you, your body has first been light. The permanent mass body was able to formulate from the light body that surrounds you, thoughts to light, light into matter. The science is all connected. What governs the seen is the unseen. You cannot disconnect, it's all connected. You cannot have one without the other. Your body is the product of your light body, or what most of you call the spirit, soul, or God goddess of your being. The God goddess of your being stands in many layers of your auric energy field around you, which is the receiver of the ongoing river of thought. If you know a river and see river, it is always flowing. It is a continuous movement. Each divine master, meaning you, are receiving thought from this river of light and life onto the river bank. As long as the water from the glacier peaks or rain or sources flowing under the valley water of life rushes into your being, your spirit is a sieve for the river of thought. You possess the God goddess of your being, which is your light being, through your light being. Thought manifests into light. Light, like draws light to it, right? In the river of thought, for thought to be realized, it must become light body first. That is what is meant by thought synthesis, into light synthesis. It ignites itself once it meets light. Light laws the body of thought. The brain was created as a law receiving unit of electrical impulse. The brain in your cranium is a direct receiver of thought coming through the God goddess of your being. When thought is issued through your spirit or aura does not define or alter thought. The aura lets unlimited thought come forth to the brain, and then light thought reaches the receiver unit in the brain, the upper cerebellum. The cerebellum is the first receiving unit of thought in your brain. That is where the electrical impulses start to the rest of the brain. The one gets an idea, and if so, acts on it and create it in their reality. The brain is a multi-highway, multifaceted divine being that will permit many electrical impulses to flow through it without overwhelming it. The full capacity of your brain were ignited. In each of your embodiments, that which is termed your God goddess being or light body or aura body, your continuous receiver thought for you are in the continuous flow of all knowingness and unlimited thought. In your space of being, you have the ability to know all there is to know in your purposeful being. One just has to turn on and tap into their vortex of creation to access this all-knowing information, the higher mind. When you receive an idea on how to heal yourself, most of you call it, oh, it came out of the blue and it appeared. What you did was you asked for healing and then opened a door from your soul or the river of thought, and it came to you without doubt to heal yourself. Okay? The brain and its impulses to the body can create the body for whatever the thought determines it to be to the soul. I am healed, healthy, vibrant, awake, energized, and full of living, loving, healing life force energy. So be it, right? Your soul will hold an idea of you being healed for you always. For what you have reached and accomplished in this life, another can be reached repeatedly. Your soul is recording and holding steadfast to everything and anything you have ever assisted or witnessed in healing. The soul takes the thought frequency of your being healed or assists another and puts it into electrical fluid currents, impulses, and cell memory. The subconscious does not linger in the brain. The subconscious lingers in the soul and houses it there too. Therefore, how many times do you have to succeed at healing yourself to know you can never fail? Every life you've ever been a healer in or succeeded in healing yourself from a terminal illness is right there in your subconscious mind, your soul, ready to retrieve it and use it. The soul permits the memory of that to occur through emotion and feeling. So the perfect language is feeling, and that is the electrical impulse that creates an array of emotions. That is what you see that plays from memory, to be able to see yourself from feelings, to be able to hear a finer sound, a finer frequency sound from feeling, to be able to see the unknown frequency bands of light, to be able to become lighter than your physical weight, is to accept that there's unlimited knowingness of that existence, that this knowingness becomes a part of your divine being and mind, that this new way of viewing, experiencing, and healing the world will become so. For those who do not believe, not believing is a door that is closed to becoming the greatest God, goddess version of yourself. You will receive what keeps you secure on this plane. That is all you will ever receive. Do you open your mind from the prison of limited belief you have been indoctrinated into? The creative idea to heal yourself has been there all along. You have nearly accepted the entrance from knowingness. The damaged part of the brain activates by knowingness. Even if you feel you are too damaged, broken, defective, etc., the magic of knowingness will heal you. As you emerge from the divine magic of knowingness, you will know more. By knowing more, you become everything you know. So be it. You embody your teachings, right? Truth and magical self. Your favorite crystal or ancient tree is emanating a thought frequency. At the same moment, your crystal wand, your sound bowl, your healing room or house, and everything in your house is emanating a thought frequency, okay? Parts of your brain, the great architect, have not been activated with the presence of your magical self, magician self, and gladiator within for a very long time. Let's activate them again, okay? When you develop the magical ability to pick up all thought frequencies, then you can become that finished frequency. Then you have absolute freedom to become all you want to be. Freedom that flows through time and space with ease and grace, and anything else you wish to become, so be it to that. You have the ability to take through your brain thought synthesis, or knowing that there is a way to activate the unstoppable power of your magic and heal your body. The moment you know your body can reconstruct, rebuild, and completely heal your magical self, that knowingness will be housed in a greater part of your brain, which will take the thoughts and amplify them for your magic to activate, and then your innate healing ability will occur. A thought frequency through the brain, body, and central nervous system will activate an electrical current, which is the spark of life within each cell of your body to start propagating, reproducing, activating, rebuilding, and healing itself. Okay? I've been in 2 car accidents and abused my body by living on the streets for years. All I did was take hold of a healing thought frequency of activating my high magic and innate healing abilities, and then my body and mind started to heal itself. So be it. You understand the magic of thought synthesis, rebuilding, and what cloning is, the electrical current sent to receiving a unit of each cell, which will cause DNA factor in each cell to propagate, rebuild, and to heal itself to exactness, right? Those of you who have damaged part of your brain or body, wherever the damaged part of your brain is, just know that your healing activates by the magic of knowingness. Even if you feel you are too damaged beyond repair, can happen, too broken to awaken my magic, just know the magic of knowingness will heal you, okay? The brain is then activated and the current is intensified through the central nervous system to where the knowingness must become a great spark of life will begin to activate the cellular structure of what has been damaged and will cause itself to clone itself and reconstruct itself perfectly, no matter how much drugs you have done or car accidents have you been in or damage to your brain or body. Just know the magic of knowingness heals you, okay? I'm living proof of this, okay? Do you think that this is miraculous? Well, to me, this is the way it is and the way it should be. It's just normal thinking and knowingness for me. You can and will heal yourself with knowingness, so be it to that. So the pituitary gland is responsible for and controls the activity of receiver of the brain, okay? So the pituitary gland is a small pea-sized or pea-shaped endocrine gland situated at the base of your brain, somewhat behind your nose and between your ears, which governs hormones, regulates and maintains the body's functions, okay? So the pituitary gland opens and a greater receiver frequency enters the pituitary gland, and then hormones in higher frequency are released from the pituitary gland. The greater frequencies activate the pineal system. The pineal system swells in the back of the head. That's greater frequency, and hormones enter the pineal gland, and the flow of higher frequency and hormones from the pituitary gland and the swelling of the pineal gland are opened. Okay? Boom. Pituitary gland is considered the area of realization, your innate intuitive center and psychic center. It is the part of the brain that controls the brain, right? What is the brain? Well, where do the current come from? It's like a gel. It is a collective receiving cells, a dense mass of water, nerves, glands. It does not generate the energy, it receives it, okay? So the pituitary gland is the gland of understanding. The pituitary gland is responsible for and control of the activity of the receiver of the brain. So the pituitary gland allows a portion of the brain to awaken from the allowance of the ego or the altered ego through tunnel flow, and which secretes hormones that flow through the portion of the brain that is dormant to awaken into the greater frequency. So the pineal gland gets its name from the pine cone shape of the gland, right? The frequencies are given through the pineal system, and the pineal gland is a system that collects the frequencies, that takes them down to the central nervous system, the spinal column, which is the highway of electrical thought, then is sent to every cell in the body, and when the cell receives the spark of life, it regenerates itself with new growth and development. It exerts a feeling of being healed, or healing. So be it. So when one is caught up in limited consciousness, that she is taught to be closed-minded, that he can't heal yourself, you're not worthy to heal. Your pain and illness is your life karma, so you can't heal. You deserve this pain and suffering, such that is a literal statement that occurs that sends messages to the brain. The brain is closed and nothing regenerates, right? You just stay sick, right? So actually the brain now starts decaying in an aging process. I see it everywhere. Okay, so one exists in limited fashion through limited consciousness that feeds the whole body through the auric field. Consciousness is like a river, and you are connected to the river and all this thought that have been realized that are coming in through the auric field, then bombarding the receiver unit. Then they are easily accepted because they are realized thoughts on a lower conscious level. The brain is only activated in the part that needs to function there, that frequency through the rest of the embodiment, right? Okay. So the pituitary gland has opened, its mouth only a little way, it only needs a little frequency, a tiny little part of it in the brain. The greater parts of the brain are attuned, receivers, that only awaken to greater frequency of thought. So the thoughts go beyond social consciousness as they do not have words with them. Okay, so that they are immense feelings that move the being, that moves it in an emotional, quiet manner. That is unlimited thinking. Unlimited thinking has not been embraced by social consciousness and science-based facts. Unlimited thinking is beyond that to unlimited possibilities. Your magic heals your body, mind, and spirit. Unlimited, right? So when one desires from the Lord God, Goddess of their being to possess unlimited thinking, whatever it is, if you try to contemplate what it is, you are contemplating a limitation instead to allow it. When you do so and desire from the Lord God, Goddess of your being, you are activating the pituitary gland, okay? And which in turn engages and opens a flower, like a flower, a little bit. The mouth begins to peel away, the greater hormones that come from the spiritual tissue issues forth, and awakening the dormant mind. That greater thoughts of unlimited understanding can come in from the auric field and find a receiving point. So the great frequency, the pineal system swells in the back of the head, becomes the frequencies are immense of greater frequency. That is why when it is given through a central nervous system, you feel a rush, a sensation, the tingling, they feel lifted, that manifests through every cell of the body, that increases the functional frequency to lift the body from social consciousness into a lighter understanding, a higher consciousness, and then the body takes on a glow. You are reversing the aging and decaying of your body. So be it. So as you raise your frequency, every little part of the brain is opened up, divine one. The greater the frequency you house, then the pituitary system will open up until one day it is flowered. So the pituitary gland peels itself away and blooms with unlimited thought, frequency, and consciousness. All that it has had within its spiritual embodiment, it has given to the fully open mind. And then the mind cannot go back to limited thinking anymore. The pituitary gland crowns itself. Then the whole of man, woman, mind is awakened. And then the breath of all wise knowingness is allowed into the receiver bliss, right? The more that he knows, the body attains that lesson and that learning, and in turn the body grows in lightness. The flower will never close again. It is open for all the time. In the pituitary gland, and without it, nothing can be controlled in the brain. The brain is controlled by the functions of the pituitary gland, including the pineal gland, okay? So this is how I activate my healing abilities. I envision higher frequencies and hormones going from the pituitary gland to the pineal gland. This creates connection to God, Goddess, to all that is, and gives me vision, sight, knowingness, imagination, to assist in all healing. So be it. If you contemplate healing yourself through a lower consciousness age, right? The pituitary gland awakens only the portion of the brain that allows the hormones to flow into the body, causing degeneration rather than making it live. If social consciousness demands disease and unhappiness, then only that frequency in the mind is received, and only that hormone is created to allow the breaking down and the death of the cells and the stress. All that goes on with the degrading life force, and there's a lot of that going on right now. So whatever you perceive allows you to think that you are, so be it. So why do you find it difficult to activate, store, retrieve, use, and house unlimited thought? And that's the power of your magic. So your computer brain was designed to house knowingness. Everything that there is and that exists in thought and knowledge, your brain can activate it, store it, retrieve it, and use it. Okay? So the pituitary gland has dominion rulership over the entire brain. The pituitary gland has a major role in allowing certain portions of the brain to be activated as a receiver unit. Whichever plane of existence a being is conclusively expressing upon or living and functioning upon, such as 3D, 5D, or even 11D and beyond, will only receive the collective thought of that plane. If a being is on a higher plane, this being can and will activate unlimited thought. And if in a lower plane, the being will only activate lower thought. Okay? A limited being stuck in dense 3D collective consciousness, stuck on the physical, material, prestige, fame, politics, power, money, etc., and functioning from limited altered ego, you will have the inability to open the pituitary gland, let unlimited thought flow through other parts of your brain, and will not house unlimited thought in the kingdom of heaven of your great being. So when we stay as a dense altered ego, 3D dimensional being, the only magic of knowingness that shall be allowed to enter your brain here to heal your body and brain here is what is known, studied, and learned in the school, or what is collective social consciousness knows to be true, accepted based on facts, theories of science, which is very limited indeed, don't you think? So these facts from the collective come forth as thoughts through your light body and spirit body and ignite themselves through the cerebellum and then to the receivers in your brain, the pituitary gland. The pituitary activates other parts of the brain with the thought energy. Since most of the collective is an altered ego and limited thought, aka or unconscious, the only part of the brain that will be accepted as limited thought, altered pituitary, is the upper right and left levels of the cerebellum, and the very lower parts of the cerebellum by the spinal column. All that is between the cerebellum is not activated. The reason for that is that any thought that comes into the brain that cannot be housed or used in certain parts of the brain cannot be reasoned and dealt with, which you call them thinking conscious. Oh, that doesn't work. Magic doesn't exist. You'll be exiled for being a magician. You can't heal yourself. You can't make limbs grow back. Go to the doctor if you're sick. Take your pills. You can't house a limited thought to heal yourself, or another healing is fake. All limited collective conscious programs. How are you going to house a limited thought to heal any issue in and around your body? At the same time, other parts of your brain also turn all knowingness away, and then what is known goes to the upper or lower parts of the cerebellum. Only 10% of the entire brain functions in altered ego and limited 3D dense consciousness. Your pituitary altered consciousness, your pituitary functions, and only allows limited thoughts and collective conscious thought to come through on this dense plane of 3D reality. This dense plane that most but not all are stuck in, trapped in, is very limited. It only has access to limited thought. Okay, so when you drink, consume, or use chemicals, additives, preservatives, toxins, take medications, inject mercury, aluminum, right, or are exposed to radiation, smoke, and drink, you fry and shrivel the pituitary gland like a little raisin from a grape, right? Then all the higher thought and limited knowledge and wisdom are not accessed. This is why the pituitary gland is under attack. If the beings that control this plane can keep the pituitary gland closed, you will be stuck in lower consciousness and the lower collective consciousness thought. They can dictate and control your life. So many there. There's unlimited thought all around you. If you are in a state of limited mind and limited being, you will not access this knowledge and heal your body. So many of you there. So why are the body and the brain important, and why do we need to know all these things, huh? Well, if you have ever been diseased with viruses, cancer, herpes, AIDS, aches, pains, and sickness throughout your body, that means you are limited. When you become diseased in your body and brain, it is because of your collective attitude, which puts forth light sparks of disease throughout thoughts into the body. For the body is the last kingdom where anything will manifest. If your body or brain becomes diseased, instead of dealing away with all of this, that has helped you to feel this. Love the body and brain, tender it, adore it, cherish it, etc. If you cannot master the body and brain, then you cannot master the magical planes to come. The body represents the ending of thought and mass. If you cannot master mass, you will not be able to master the thought to become greater. Whatever you think, worry, dread, and fear about, you manifest this mass into your body. So be it. Cleanse and heal your brain from toxins, unencumber yourself. Heal your pain and your traumas from the amygdala. Spend time in nature, rewiring your brain and receptors. Open up your mind through meditation and activations. Activate your higher mind, and you will have unlimited access to unlimited knowledge and the unstoppable power of your magic. So be it to that. I'm living proof. So the pituitary gland and the pineal gland govern the awakening and govern which areas of the brain will awaken and receive lower or higher thought frequencies. Okay? So the light sparks of thought to heal any part of your body is right in front of you, and it is everywhere. It makes up the components and the compartments of the atmosphere. All things called visible thought. Thought surrounds everything. So everything is the consciousness, and everything is emanating thought and taking it in. So what is the purpose of the auric field? You are familiar with such a field that surrounds you. What is the purpose of having an auric field? So light is the first ingredient of thought. As thought begins to materialize, the thought materializes first into light, then into heavy electromotive force, the separation of positive and negative, then fused, then into the gross matter, then into the accumulated idea of desire, the light body which surrounds everyone, is in direct connection with the river of thought. Every thought that is everywhere, that is going on, whether it is going on in the universe or another, every being can be a magical state of complete knowingness at all times. So the light aura is a strainer or a sieve to assist with the large collection of thought and thought bombardments. If everything is radiating a thought, then thoughts every moment enters the aura, and sometimes thousands of thoughts. They come in as a birth of light falling into the body as electrical currents. Okay? So the brain is not the creator of thought either. It's not, or a generator of thought, no. But instead the brain is the receiver and the conductor of thought. The brain is divided into 7 quarters. These 7 quarters are elevated to a specific frequency level that receives the thought according to its frequency. The lowest thought level is on this sub or social conscious level that the world is we know. It is at a very low and strong electrical current field. The conscious of everything, right, governed by the term man, rules there. That is the lowest light frequency there is. So the brain has 2 sensors, including on the brow and the head, which humanity is currently operating to this level of consciousness. The frequency that has been allowed to occur in the brain is termed limited thought. So only a certain part of the brain, one of the 7 compartments of the brain, is activated in lower consciousness, okay? So only that part of the receiving unit in the brain can receive the thought and thinking. So the pineal gland is called the collective intellect, okay? The pituitary gland and the pineal gland govern the awakening and govern which areas of the brain will awaken and receive lower, higher thought frequencies, okay? So the magic of unlimited thought is if unlimited thought is allowed to occur throughout the embodiment, the brain is then activated in another center, the crown center. The frequency is opened up and then allows a richer thought frequency of higher level and magnitude to enter the body, then transferred to the water substance and continually ignited itself in the brain. And then the thought passes into the brain, then to the central nervous system. The central nervous system will pick up the frequency of that thought and then take it through the spinal column. Then the frequency will seed every nervous system, cell, and DNA through your entire being. Okay? So the thought travels along the fluid as its conductor. As the light enters each cell, that is the spark that keeps the DNA tight and keeps the string of manifestation itself and rejuvenating another light form alive. So as a feeling of thoughts and light sparks travel and are responded to throughout the entire body, the overall feeling registers in the body is memory association with a thought. A thought can never be known until it's felt. It can never be seen until it's felt, and then it can be explained. So you raise the frequency and consciousness in your body and brain and tap into the magical realm of sparks of thought. By raising your frequency, you now allow unlimited magical thought through your aura, and then through the thought turns to the light spark of love to enter the nervous system, cells, DNA, etc., to heal and rebuild your body. So learn how to use and work with thought, the magical light sparks of thought, to heal different areas of the brain, nervous system, cells, DNA, and then your sacred temple in your body. It's a simple science. Remember this, thought is then light seen. Electrical impulse, which is the lowering of the light force, and electrical impulse lowered to become mass. Then from mass to represent the idea. All you have to do is reverse it and send it back. The same truth that works on the body thought in light receiving units. From the receiving unit, the brain takes the electrical current, runs it through the mass, and then the mass understands it through feeling. Now, run the cycle of thought to light, to the electrical impulse, to mass, then to an idea. Run it backwards, and this activates the brain to awaken. Mass, ideas, electrical impulses, light thought, and activate the higher mind. Let's say you're trying to heal a growth or tissue, lump, or your body tumor, cancer, ulcer, lump, cyst, etc., or a severe wound or cut. First, you have to have thought that healing anything is possible with the power of knowingness, thought, and light. We receive the thought that we can heal anything. That thought turns to light, then the light turns to electrical current, then to a mass, and the idea of being healed. I believe it's possible, but knowingness to heal all things. Now to heal a growth or skin mass or any ailment on or in your body or another, go backwards. To heal idea, mass, light, the thought, and then back to knowingness. We reverse the energy, and then the magical miracle occurs. Is it too simple? Do you want it to be more complex? So allow more isness, knowingness, and unlimited thought to become more unlimited. Anytime you tell someone that their magic is only imagination, not a reality, you are taking away unlimited thinking from the higher mind that activates the unstoppable power of their magic, right? That is what has happened to the children of this plane. And most of you, get your head out of the clouds and stop daydreaming. No time for magic. Get studying your math. So how do you heal yourself using the image in your brain? How many of you have imagined away your pain? The pain sent to the brain from the rest of your body causes great discomfort for the brain. Most people don't know how to utilize the healing aspects of the brain, so as soon as a sickness or pain comes up, they run to the doctor and get on meds. Oh, I'm sick, doctor, go to the hospital. If you're stuck in the matrix grid and you get sick, you were trained and programmed to go to the doctor and take medicine. When in fact, if you change your mindset, you can heal yourself well. Most but not all people do not even know how to utilize their brain to heal themselves. They run to the doctor instead. Their brain can reconstruct any reality from the physical body. If you did not know this, you would accept the pain and then seek a doctor. The doctor would say, well, the swelling will go down in 3 to 5 days, the normal acceptance of time. But what if you could bring the swelling down now? Power of the brain. Okay? So we have a program. If you take aspirin, your headache goes away in a matter of moments. It is not the aspirin that removes the headache. It's your beliefs and programs that do that. You can take down the headache by visualizing it a placebo. This is how you remove headaches. Not Advil, aspirin, or Tylenol, right? So delete that program on the core genetic soul and the history level. So be it to that. So instead of being afraid of the pain and visualizing the pain and looking at the pain and seeing it as a big, big pain because you thought it was that big, instead of seeing the pain healed, most, but not all, just focus on the pain and how big the pain is. Focus on being healed instead, Divine One. Okay, hold the image of you being healed in your brain, and the brain sends an electric impulse of healing energy to part of the body and allows knowingness to enter your brain, and at the same time sends healing images to your body. Dream yourself well, Divine Ones. The brain will electrically stimulate the body to heal itself. Give your body a dream of being healed by holding the dream in your mind's eye as healed. And electrical current will go to the rest of the body to heal the body, okay? Your cells can't accomplish anything as long as you imagine, dream, and visualize yourself well. Imagine away the pain instead of being afraid of pain. Turn your mindset around and say, I am healed, so be it to that. If you touch your toe and you feel it and then the brain sends a message to the toe, what about something you can't see or understand, such as pain? Your brain sends a message of pain. Change your mindset to heal and watch the pain transform by the power of your mind. In a flash, boom, you're healed, boom. If your brain can imagine and dream of being healed, then so be it. The images that transfer the healing frequencies to the central nervous system electrically and chemically responds to the area that needs healing. So be it. The brain can electrically stimulate any area of the body with a new program to heal. So be it. Your cells can do anything as long as the master organ, the brain, knows what it is talking about. So be it. Give the area of your body in pain a dream of being healed. So be it. And watch your body heal. Yeah, so be it. As we evolve and raise our consciousness, we will all remember how to heal ourselves naturally and holistically. What's that? So be it. The body is created to create and recreate itself. Your body is designed to explore life, recreate life, and create in life. Yeah, so be it. Brain imagines, and the brain's languages are imagine. Its ability to imagine is only the great as the knowledge you have given it. The brain is a remarkable dreamer. Let us both hold and imagine a dream of you being healed. So be it. Look at you. Those who stood up with no pain and felt better today. What did you do? Did you take medicine? Did you do a regime? What did you do? You changed your mind. You were filled with a new light, and that light lives in every cell. That's why you felt so wonderful. And how did you do that? We dreamed it into being. That's how we did it. So be it. That you are healed. So be it. Do you realize what a wonderful thing you are speaking to your body and brain, and what a great mystery you have being to your physicians and scientists? You really are quite simple. All you need is someone to tell you to become whatever it is you imagined, and you will become it. You have the ability to do that. Yes, if doctors and physicians told us we can rebuild our body and brain through thought, it would be so. You are structured that way to be limited through limited programming, beliefs, assimilations, and generations of indoctrinations, man. It is time to be loved and tendered to yourself. If you're a woman or a man, love what you are, tender it. Never abuse it. Never say your body is ugly or deface it, right? Or defy it. For it will surely decay and never heal. Love your body, man. Come on. Your body and your brain are your pure instrument of expression here on this plane to experience the life you are living. Become unlimited and love the body and brain. It gives you mastery of this plane of freedom. To also take care of the instrument, the perfect body, that it too can become unlimited. Whatever you imagine can be in the now and the future. Become unlimited and love the body and the brain. It gives you the mastery of the plane and freedom. You see, the mind, your mind is defined by you, not by me. If I have to find your mind for you, what say I? What does the mind mean to you? What is the mind in your definition? Define your great mind. Define the unstoppable power of your magic mind. Starseeds, magicians, gladiators of love's embrace. By studying the mind, you will unlock your mind's magical powers, abilities, attributes, knowledge, wisdoms, and skills. Okay? So be it to that. Thank you for listening to me today. This is Chris Parr, Sirian and Lemurian Wisdoms and Teachings.